let's go ahead and jump over to voting. So the voting area has been redone a little bit in this version of the Boardroom web, and let's take a look at what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new vote. We'll say that this one is to approve the minutes for the last meeting. Let's see, approve July's meeting minutes. Yes. Oh, do you approve July's meeting minutes? And so the possible answers here will be yes or no. So a couple things that we can choose to, when we set up our vote, we can make the vote style either a single choice, which means they can only select one item, or a multiple choice. So in this style of a vote, we don't want them to select multiple. We want them to choose yes or no. We can also choose to make it a public or private vote. By doing so, if we make it a public vote, it means that when I vote yes, or if I vote no, it's going to show that I voted a certain way. We're going to go ahead and say no, we want it to be a private vote. And then we're not going to relate this to any meetings. And we'll create vote. So right there you can see, now I've set up a vote real quick. My account has the privilege that allows me to vote. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, I choose to approve the minutes. Shows me that my vote has been submitted. And then I can see the results. Now, as you can tell, this vote was set up, but it should have been set up where I can see that auto voted a certain way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and reset the vote up to say, well, we want it to be a public. So when we're approving the minutes, we want to see that auto approved the minutes or he didn't approve the minutes. So I'll edit the vote. So note that when you edit a vote and you edit the properties, it's going to wipe out the results. So what that did is it went and reset up the poll or the vote, and now it's wiped out my previous vote. It's been nullified, and now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to vote again. I'll click yes, and I'll click submit vote. Now you can see on this one, since the results are public, that it actually shows that my account, my auto account, has voted yes on this poll. So there we go. We've got voting. Let's do one more, and what we're going to do for this one is we're going to attach it to our August board meeting. We're just going to call it a sample vote. And we're going to make this a multiple choice. We'll keep it private. And then we're going to say, we're going to attach it to the August board meeting. We'll click create vote. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump over to the meetings area now. And we'll jump into our August board meeting. And here you can see now over on the right hand side, we have a new link. It says sample vote. So this is showing that we now have a vote tied to this meeting. So as your management team and board members are using a specific meeting or reviewing a specific meeting, they're going to see quick links to important things that are tied to a board meeting. So if I wanted to go ahead and vote on this, I'll click on sample vote, and I can go ahead and vote. We'll just say I'm undecided, and there we go. Now if we jump back into the August board meeting, we will now see that the icon has changed from my account, showing that I voted on this. All right, there is one more area to show, and that's the whiteboard area. This is a brand new feature for the Boardroom web, one that we're pretty excited about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new whiteboard. Okay, we'll click save. Now let's go ahead and jump into the whiteboard. Okay. So the idea behind the whiteboard area is that we needed a place for board members and the management team to maybe interactively collaborate on a document. And when we say document, we mean a web document. It's not a Microsoft Word document or anything like that. It's just text that you can put into the system here online. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to add some more information here. I'm going to say save as new version. So saving as a new version means that the first version was the one that I created when I set up this whiteboard. Now this is the second version. So I'll go ahead and click save. As you can see here, now I have this compare to version list and a drop-down list box. What I can do is I can compare from version 1 to version 2. So I'll go ahead and do that. And you can see that this text here it's not surrounded by bold green or a strict strike through. So that was in version 1 and it's also in version 2. However, all of this stuff highlighted in green here was added on the second version. So this is meant to be an area where you can just collaborate with different groups of people and you can see how a document progresses over time. Now let's say that you made a typo, that you didn't mean text to be text, you just wanted to end at whiteboard. So you didn't really want that to be a whole nother revision when you're modifying that text. So what you can do is you can save over the current version. There we go. So we still only have version 1 and 2 of this document. Now, if I wanted to go and see what version 1 of the document looked like, I can go ahead and look at the version history here, click on the link, and it's going to load the first version. If I have a comment that I made that I wanted to make on version 1, I could go ahead and click on the version number over on the right, and then leave a comment here. And then it's going to show up that I made a comment on a specific version. Or if I go to version 2 now, I'll leave a comment on version 2. Okay, so real quickly, that's the Boardroom web, a tour of all the new features. I do plan on making more screencasts where I kind of really dive into an area and talk in more detail. If you do have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Please get back to us either at our blog or send us an email at support@itechnw.com. Thank you.